Alright, day one of the daily vlog, the journey. So the idea behind this is to document, I guess, the next 100 days as a starter, based off the fabulous John Lee Dumas's book, The Freedom Journal. And just to document, I've just finished reading Gary Vaynerchuk's book, Crushing It. I've been thinking about, dreaming about some things for a while, and it's time just to start doing. Stop scrolling through Instagram and dreaming about the life that I want and actually build it for myself. The way that this is going to be achieved is through good old-fashioned hard work, learning from guys that have gone before me, and women for that matter as well, people who are actually out there doing it and providing content, providing teachings that all of us have got access to in this digital world we live in. It's time to get cracking, time to get in the game. Been sitting on the sidelines watching for a while. That's changing from today. So I guess day one is I'll introduce myself, a little bit of background, a little bit of personal history to frame this, and then then outline how I want to achieve it, what I'm going to do. So yeah, let's begin. So I guess to start, who am I? 39-year-old Australian male, grew up in a middle-class family, well educated, went to a private school in Brisbane, was an average student, I'd probably call myself, above average sportsman, was your atypical class clown, so I was more interested in getting a laugh in class and actually concentrating and achieving from an academic point of view. Hung out with good people at school, hung out with guys that went on to be high achievers and still continue to be. But I went a little bit off the rails out of school, was easily led astray as a teenager, as a young adult, and what this eventually led to was drugs, was lies, to myself and to those around me, and that ultimately was a life of chaos. Bounced around from job to job, always had the ability to do whatever I put my mind to, and I think we all do as humans. Was always positive. The environment that I got brought up in as a child, my parents are amazing human beings, worked hard, worked their faces off to achieve a better life for themselves and for their kids, which they did, and I'll be forever grateful for that. Had a father who was a school teacher, and a mother who was a businesswoman, who eventually went on to sort of be top of her game, not quite a CEO, but sort of a second in charge, a COO, if you like, of a directories company. She come from not much as a child, but managed to work her face off and achieve some amazing outcomes. So this was a really good example that she set for myself and my sister. I guess the idea behind this vlog is, part of my motivation is to actually document my journey, which is one of the teachings that Gary V really hammers home, is just stop fucking around and actually start doing something. I'm going to use the Freedom Journal here as my daily guide, and as my accountability tool. So 100 days, which as a 39-year-old now I realise will go by in no time. And I want to set an example for my future family, which I plan on having, even though that seems a mile away at the moment, but that's by the by, that'll happen. And also my niece and nephew, who are both growing up in this digital age, and I can't imagine what that would be like, to be completely honest. I'm 39, born in 1979, so we're sort of just on the edge of this digital age that we live in. computers weren't a massive part of my childhood. It was more sport and outdoors, as opposed to selfies and pictures and computers, PCs, iPhones, Androids, smartphones. I mean, we've all got media centres in our pocket now, which is mind-boggling in itself. The power that we've got, the processing power that phones have these days, is ridiculous. So I was sort of on the edge of that. I was 21 in the year 2000. So social media and what we now interact with daily, Facebook and Instagram and all of these platforms, was still a fair way off even coming into existence. One of the things which I've wrestled with and grappled with over the last, I guess, 4 or 5 years is, as Gary puts it, that the internet has won. It's done. The game's over. If you're wanting to do what I'm going to do over the coming days, months, years, and build a life for myself, the platform is there for us all. So whether it's a phone or a digital camera, which I'm using to record this, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, these are the portals to success. So I plan on leveraging each of these. The main way that I'm going to free myself and build the life of my dreams is to continue to work my 45, 50 hour job a week, which pays the bills. And then on the side hustle is going to be building a few of the affiliate websites, which I've already built in the last 6 months. Really doubling down on that. And also using some training, which I'm doing at the moment, to turn myself into a ninja, into a master of selling on Amazon. So Amazon's really only just getting going in my home country in Australia, but from an American point of view and from a European point of view, it's ridiculous how big it is. And again, it's open to all of us. Anyone can do this. Doesn't matter your background, doesn't matter your education, doesn't matter your upbringing. We've all got the opportunity to leverage these platforms to do arbitrage on Amazon, on eBay, on any of these platforms. There's money to be made, and 95% of the way to learn about how to do this is free. It's online. The guys which I've followed, read their content, learnt from over the course of the last couple of years since I've sort of got cracking on this stuff, are Gary Vaynerchuk, who I've already mentioned. I've just finished reading his book for the second time, Crushing It, which is this one here. For any of you out there who want to do what I'm doing, this is your man. This is the ninja. So this is his 5th New York Times bestseller, Crushing It, and this really is the Bible for the digital world. How you can do whatever you want, really. So as I said, I've also listened to the podcast that John Lee Dumas has had going for a while, and I got the Freedom Journal about 6 months ago, and it's been gathering dust on my side mantle next to my bed for the last 6 months, 8 months. Like a lot of things, I'm a world champion at procrastination, but that's all going to stop. One of the other guys who I have learnt off over the last year is Mark Leng, a New Zealand ninja of the online world of digital marketing, digital sales, affiliate sales, building your own website. The guy's a legend, and again, he provides free content. One of his websites, Affilorama.com. Jump on there, check it out. The amount of free content that this guy provides to any and all of us is ridiculous. The guys that I'll be learning off over the course of the next few months and years are Their course is called the 7-Figure Cycle. It's all about Amazon sales, the buy box method, and how anyone has got access to this stuff, how you can sell products on Amazon. So, the basic capitalist mentality of buying something cheap and selling it for a margin, selling it for a profit. This is all pretty simple stuff. Anyone can do this. One of the other guys that I followed who actually mentioned Gary's name a few times, and who I have followed probably for the last year and a half, just consuming his content on Facebook, and he's got a daily sort of, he's doing a daily vlog, a daily sort of diary now as well, is a guy called Kerwin Ray, who's an Australian ninja as well, man. He's amazing. So check him out, Kerwin Ray. He's for if you're in business or even just life skills. One of the things which he sort of speaks about a lot, speaks about that sort of helped him change his life, find out who he was and what he wanted to do, and put me onto, which I've gone and learnt recently. Is meditation, is Transcendental Meditation, TM. So I'm about 5 weeks into that. I went and got trained by a lady in Brisbane called Wendy Rosenfeld, so shout out to you, Wendy. I went and saw a talk last week by a guy called Bob Roth, who has written a book called Strength in Stillness, which I implore all of you to check out and read. So working a day job, which I'm assuming 90% of the people, 95%, probably high, 99% of the people who end up consuming this content that I'm going to provide, this documentation, this daily vlog, it's really going to help. I've already seen the benefits just in the last 4 weeks. So the world that we live in provides lots of opportunities for us, but it is also really noisy, really, really noisy. So, being able to relax the mind and really concentrate and zone in on what I want to achieve moving forward, TM is going to be a huge help in achieving that. I've got no doubt about that. So look, my plans are to do this daily, is to take you on the journey with me over the course of the coming days, months, years, and hopefully provide some value, provide some teachings. I plan on speaking more about myself and my shortcomings, the things that I'm good at, which I plan on, as Gary says, doubling down on, tripling down on, forgetting about the noise, forgetting about what others around me say that you can do or you can't do, and just get cracking, just get in the game. Just made some notes here. So yeah, a few of the things which I've already started on are some affiliate websites. I've got a Shopify store which I'm trying to leverage one of my passions, which is street art. So just selling some bits and pieces, shirts and hoodies, phone cases, tote bags with some different designs on them. Again, this is something that we've all got access to. Shopify is an amazing platform. It's very easy. Anyone can do this. Very easy to open an account. It's $30 US a month to have an account, have a store. I use one of the only sort of plugin that I used is the T-Launch plugin. So these guys give you the ability to design shirts, cases, bags, pillowcases, a heap of things. Really straightforward. You just need a high-res image that you've got resale rights for, and away you go. Mark Ling and the Learn, Build, Earn course, which I've done and which I'm revisiting at the moment, provide really basic teachings on how to build a website. So whether that's a website to sell physical products, whether that's a website to sell affiliate products, which is someone else's product which you're the middleman for, which you're pushing. Anyone can do this. I'll just sort of go back to my my experience, my abilities on a computer are limited, to say the least, compared to what your sort of Gen Ys and what kids are growing up with these days. But I've proven to myself over the course of the last 6 to 8 months that by doing some training and by working, just by actually doing it, by learning from my mistakes, is that this is available to anyone. Anyone can do this. So check out Mark Ling, check out the content that he provides. The 7-Figure Cycle Guys, which is some training I'm doing at the moment, is really exciting. I'm excited by this. This is selling on Amazon. It's a specific strategy on selling on Amazon. This is not white label, private label stuff. This is really standing on the shoulders of a giant, which is Amazon itself. One of the issues I've run into, and am still sort of arm wrestling with the sites that I've got up and running at the moment, is traffic. Is targeted traffic, is getting people to the website who are motivated buyers. But that's something that I'm going to continue to work on. And one of the things with Amazon, which you don't need to worry about, and specifically with the 7-Figure Cycle model, is traffic. Amazon has already got the traffic. I mean, the Amazon America website has got a ridiculous amount of traffic every single day. There's people going there to buy stuff. So whether it's your daily consumable items, whether it's specific niche items, there's it's mind-boggling how many products are on Amazon. I think at the latest count in January this year, it was like 500 billion. That's billion with a B. What Bezos has built is ridiculous. It really is. I mean, 20 years ago, this dude had a friggin' online bookstore. And now he's the richest individual in the world with, the greatest platform, which is crushing its competitors. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Brick and mortar stores, people will always go to a Westfield or a shopping centre for an experience. But in terms of buying, the game, he's won, mate. It's like the internet. The internet's won and Bezos has won. Amazon is just getting started in Australia, but he'll dominate this marketplace eventually, despite what Jerry Harvey and these other old-timers say. Bezos he'll win here. He's won in America. He'll win in Europe. And we've all got the opportunity to sell on this platform. Again, very straightforward. Setting up an account and learning what I'm learning is all straightforward stuff. This is not, if you're one of these people who is negative and say you can't do this, well, take it from me, you can, and you should. If you want to have a little bit of money on the side, if you want to provide for your family or do what I want to do, which is just sort of build the life which I want to lead, which involves not working for somebody else, which involves a lot more travel. I've been fortunate enough to see a lot of the beautiful country that I grew up in and live in, Australia. I've been fortunate enough to do some overseas travel, but I want to do more of it. The world we live in is an amazing place. One of the things that Gary says, which always makes me laugh, is, we've already won. The fact that we're alive, you've already won the lotto. I think he says 4 trillion to 1. I don't know if that's the actual stats, but it probably is, to be honest. So the guy doesn't talk shit, he just talks truth. But the fact that you're watching this, the fact that I'm here delivering this, the fact that you're alive, that you are breathing air and you're alive, is you've already won the lotto. So you only get one at bat. You only get one life. So make the most of it. As I said, I'm 39, but I'm only just getting started. I'm sure there's a lot of 39-year-old males out there who think that if they haven't won yet, that they can't win, and that's just complete horseshit. We're now living in an age where I personally think over the next 15 to 20 years, with some of the stuff I've read on CRISPR, on AI, on just the exponential growth in technology, be it medical, be it digital. You know, I mean, I don't even think I'm even halfway, or I know I'm not even halfway through my life cycle. Whereas if you were a 39-year-old in the 50s, completely different story. If you didn't have a education and didn't have a good job in that era and you were 39, you know, you were going to struggle to win. You were going to struggle to build the life of your dreams. But not now. 2018, as a 39-year-old, you know, I'm not even halfway done. So I guess that's day one. The idea behind the first, I guess, few weeks and months is just to sort of just build some habits around doing this daily, around sitting in front of a camera, around talking. I don't care how this looks, I don't care how this sounds, I don't care, you know, I'm sure there'll be feedback, and I don't care about that. I'm going to use Gary as my shield. I'm going to use John Lee's Freedom Journal as my guide and as my accountability tool. I'm going to do this daily. I'm going to provide as much value that I can. I'm going to talk about myself. I'm going to talk about my family and my friends. I'm going to talk about my upbringing and, you know, my 20s, which were, we'll get to that, which were loose. Wasted a lot of good opportunities, took a lot of drugs, had a lot of good times, but ultimately the position I'm in now, which is a drug-free, well, coffee and ciggies. I guess I'm not drug-free, I guess none of us are really, in a certain way, but, you know, weed and ecstasy, coke, mushrooms, all of that stuff which I consumed at a high rate through my 20s and early 30s is in my past. I do believe that it has opened up my my field of vision. I'm not recommending it to anybody. You know, there is a reason why people take drugs. There's lots of reasons actually, but one of them is because ultimately they are fun. I mean, you do have a good time on them most of the time. If they're taken in the right quantities and they're taken for the right reasons, you know, I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't have a good time in my 20s, but I made a lot of mistakes. I told a lot of lies. I lived a life for a long time, which was a lie to myself. I was lying to myself and to those around me and to the people that I loved. So, and that was after reflecting on it over the last sort of 6 months to a year, that those lies and that illusion of a life that I was living was based around primarily my daily consumption in a large volume of weed. So, and then, you know, being a weekend warrior with all the rest of it. Yeah, so, but we'll talk about that. That'll be part of, I'll bare my soul, so which I think can help some people. It'll help me. It'll be cathartic for me to talk about it as well. So, but I mean, I guess this is day one of what will be an ongoing documentation vlog of my journey to free myself of the rat race. I enjoy the job I'm doing at the moment. I'm a hotel manager in Brisbane. The team that I work with are fantastic. I enjoy speaking to people. I enjoy helping people. So the job I'm in at the moment and the job I've done for the last 5 to 10 years is something that I really enjoy doing. So that helps. But ultimately, it's not going to get me to my end goal. It's not going to provide the end game, which is I want to do a lot more travel. I want to have a family and be in a position to provide for that family without having to worry about money. And look, money's not everything. That's a given. But, you know, let's not kid ourselves. It helps. So being in a position to not have to worry about that is something that I plan on building over the course of the next months, years, and I'm going to take you on the journey with me. So I'll wrap it up there for day one of my video log, my vlog. I'll come up with a title, a name. I'm sure I'll get better at this, at delivery, at providing the value and the content that I want to be able to provide for people to learn from. So yeah, day one done. In the game. Game on. Okay.